everyone. How are you doing today? I am Lana Quest, and this is a segment of the Quest Show. Again, as you know, I'm just trying to get content. We will not be having a show tonight because this is our administrative night where we go over our data and our stats and try to get ideas on how to get you all to subscribe, like, and share this video. I hope everyone had a great 4th. Just wanted to pop on and talk about a few things that are happening in the news since we won't be having a regular show on tonight. July 4th in the Highland Park area of Chicago, there was another mass shooting that occurred by a young man in his 20s. He went on top of a rooftop, rained bullets down on parade goers, killing 7 individuals, leaving a child, an orphan, leaving many people injured, including children. There were a lot of children at the parade, people in wheelchairs, just people trying to have a good time at a parade early in the morning. And this happens because why? Mass shootings have become as American as apple pie. It's just what it is. And it will be until we can change the gun laws, because it is not, mental health is not the sole issue. I agree. Some of these people may be mentally ill. I am sure that they are. However, there's a lot of people that are mentally ill and they do not go around committing mass murder. Take away the weapons that are so easily accessible and the shootings will go down. The murders will go down, but Republicans will never do that. So that is what we're fighting for, to get Congress so that we can move things forward, because they will not move forward as they are. As we discussed before, Mitch McConnell was one and done. He said, I already came to the table and gave you guys a little bit. Should have known that's all I was going to do, and don't come crying to me about anything else. So take your tears to the ballot box, people, because that's the way this ends. Also in the news cycle was the murder of Jayland Walker out of Ohio by police officers. Yes, you guessed it, a traffic stop. Again, because apparently police cannot stop Black people for a traffic stop without murdering them. I think that's just kind of like their MO at this point, just to pick off some Black people. Just the excuse is a traffic stop. It's absolutely insane. So their story is he kept going, and when they followed him or chased him, I'm not clear on a lot of this because a lot of the murky details really don't matter. Whether you had to chase this man or not, they're saying that there was a flash that came from his car. So they're saying that that was a gun. Okay. Then he gets out of his car and they have to chase him. See, that's part of the problem. White cops don't like chasing Black people. They just don't. Then they'll just take it out on you because now they're pissed that they had to run somewhere. So they chase this guy with no gun in his hand because he was running. And what do? They tried to tase him, but that didn't work, or I don't know why. Maybe they were too far away. So what do? Instead of just letting him run, you have the car, you can run the plate. How far is he going to go? Really? You can find him. But instead of doing that, what do? Fire 90 times. That young man was hit with 60 bullets. And then they had the nerve to handcuff a dead body. Were they going to act like he was resisting or something? So they had to further their narrative that, he's this inhuman monster and he was still resisting and being violent, even in his death. So we had to handcuff him. comparison. Because the Highland Park shooter shot those people, put on a wig and a dress, and escaped through the crowd because no one, suspected him. They picked him up on a traffic stop. He had a rifle in his car. Near a scratch, just not a scratch. What do you know? Does that surprise anyone? Not a scratch. Tale of two justice systems, isn't it? Isn't it? The black guy who was probably just scared, right? And even if the car is stolen, even if he red or ran light, broken taillight, any of those offenses, it doesn't warrant a death penalty. Oh, but they found a gun in his car. The gun wasn't on him when they shot him. The gun wasn't on him when they shot him. Also, it is Ohio. It is okay to have a gun in your car because it's one of them states that love the guns. So what are we saying right now? Black people can't have guns in their car because that's the offense? Like, what are y'all saying? Because none of it, absolutely none of it, makes any sense. But I'm going to move on. Also happening in the news this week, since we're talking about cops that just love murdering black folks, the police officer that murdered Tamir Rice, if you don't remember who Tamir Rice, he was the little boy, he was 10 or 12 at the time, that was outside playing with a toy gun, and someone called and said, there's a little boy out here playing with, it looks like a toy gun. I'm not sure if they thought it was a toy gun, why they even called the police, but they called the police and said, but I think it's a toy. But the cops came, I believe it was like within 3 minutes of the call, the coming, and he was just dead. A child. Just a child with a toy. Was just dead. Anyway, the police officer who murdered Tamir Rice, because he got off, of course, because there's rarely any consequences, he got off and was able to get another job as a police officer in some small town in Pennsylvania. So I guess he tried to run, and get a job somewhere where no one knew him. So he was hired for this town. The town is called Tioga, population 600, and he was a lone police officer. However, the people of the town said, oh, no, you're not. Not here. So they pitched a fit because they did not want this murdering child killer to be the sole police officer in their town. He had to resign. May you never get another policing job for the rest of your life. Speaking of police officers that just love to kill black folks, Chauvin today was sentenced to 21 years in addition for violating George Floyd's civil rights on top of the sentence that he already has. So, yeah, that's what happened, Chauvin. That is accountability. Hopefully they do their investigation, and those cops that felt a need to shoot this man 60 times are held accountable. I did hear that there was like 4 cops that did not fire any shots. Kudos to them, because why were you firing shots? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Also, what's happening in the news this week is Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham thought he was just going to skate on free and no one was going to try to talk to him. You thought, Lindsey. So, Fannie Willis, Fulton County District Attorney, said, come on over here, Lindsey, we got a subpoena for you. So apparently she went to the grand jury that she already has, and she's got this grand jury. I think she extended it, and she's got the grand jury for 1 year so she can really take her time with this investigation, and that is what she's doing. She has sent a subpoena to Lindsey Graham, and of course, Lindsey Graham is trying to make all kinds of excuses, which he doesn't have. Like, that's what happens when you go and try to do a lying thief's bidding. What do you think is going to happen, Lindsey? Yeah, you have a subpoena in a criminal trial. Because why? Because it is against the law to do a election fraud. That's against the law, Lindsey. So she wants to talk to you. That's it. Speaking of politics, guess who's coming to talk to January 6th committee? Pat Cipollone, the guy that Cassidy Hutchinson mentioned in her testimony, the guy who was part of Trump's legal team at the White House. Yeah, the guy who kept saying, you can't do that. We're going to do time if you do that. You can't do that. That's against the law. Please don't do that. We're all going to get arrested. Please don't. That guy, Pat Cipollone, he will be testifying behind closed doors on Friday. Side note, what a coward. Cassidy came out and she spoke, and she's been threatened and all of that. But you have to testify behind closed doors? I mean, I'm just happy you're testifying, but these men, like, just a bunch of cowards. So, since we're speaking about politics, let's go on across the pond. Guess what happened? Are you interested? Boris Johnson resigned today. Yes, he did. You know, their politics is very interesting. Like, he had to resign as their prime minister because he had an integrity problem, because he's a liar and a cheat. And like, everyone had lost faith in him. Like, I don't know if it's called an administration, but his folks were like leaving last night. They were all like leaving and resigning. So today he just had to leave because nobody wanted to work for him anymore because he's such a liar. Wow, compare that to here. It's like, that's what it takes to be a politician here, Republican anyway, to be a lying cheat and just an overall ghoul who wants to take everyone's rights away. And you fit right in with the Republican Party. But over there across the pond, they're like, you're lying. You lied too much. You went to that party during COVID, or you had a party during COVID. That's a problem. You have no integrity. You got to go. And, the funny part was, Boris Johnson is so Trumpish because he gave his resignation speech and didn't take any responsibility. Not only did he not take responsibility, he boasted about the great job that he was doing, but, he basically said, the herd mentality, and when there's a herd, everyone just kind of falls along. Like, that's what he was doing. The speech sounded so much like Trump just bragging about what he did, and basically like, I don't know why they're doing this to me because I'm doing my job and I'm doing it better than anybody else, and here are all my numbers to show. Like, that was his speech. And then he was like, he was sad to go, but dim the brakes. He said dim the brakes. And which was even the more hilarious thing is that they are actually trying to act like he penned that phrase, dim the brakes, because one of the reporters is like, that's the thing that he says. Is it though? Because there's a whole American rap song called These Are the Breaks. I think it's Curtis Blow. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe, dim the brakes. Those are the brakes. Those are the brakes. Break it up, break it up, break it up. Break down. Anyway, everyone, have a great weekend. I just wanted to check in, make sure everyone was okay. Please like, share, subscribe. We need your subscriptions. Please, we are putting out content and great content. Please check out the Black Corner. I will be putting a new Black hero to spotlight in there tonight, so please check that out. We're going to be having some special guests for the month of August, hopefully. So stay with us and talk to you soon. Bye bye.